Hi everyone, my name is Marco Sanchez, and today I'm going to be talking about ankle flexibility. There's three major muscles that I want to concentrate on. One is the gastrocnemius, which is your actually calf muscle, your soleus, which is right next to it, and your tibialis, both the posteriors and anterior. So those are the three muscles we're going to be talking about it for ankle movement. One of the things you can do with ankle movement is like, we forget about that. We work in everything else, we always forget about the ankle, and this is how a lot of injuries happen. A lot of torns, ACLs, is because it is inflexibility in the ankle. So I'm gonna be working on that today. One of the easiest way to warm it up is we'll begin with like laying on the floor using a block and doing the alphabet, literally. So doing the A, do the B, the C, and the D. And one of the main functions of the ankle by doing that, kind of warming it up, is because the ankle can do, you can flex the ankle, you can extend the ankle, and you can move it side to side. That's basically the only functions of the ankle, making circles on it, right? So we're gonna be concentrating on that today in today's class. Is gonna be working on that with different poses. One of the things that I do want to mention too before I keep moving is kind of one of the ways you can figure out how much flexibility you have in your ankle is if you can lean against the wall and you can just put put your hand in front of there and imagine that was a wall and figure out if you're able to touch the wall without your ankle coming off the floor. If it does, that's okay, but at least you know the flexibility. So if you can tell this was a wall, I'll be touching it right there with ankle right there. So there's a good flexibility of mine. So that's one of the things that I want you to mention that. And we're gonna be doing some exercises and doing that. So we'll begin the class with the child's pose. So just get laying on your side, feet together, open at the knees, and let's take a few breaths here. Just inhale. And just kind of settle down. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale. And slowly we're gonna make our way up into table pose. Just do again. I like to warm up my spine too. For me, just before I begin to any class of yoga with a few cat and cat. So inhales, you drop stomach down, you look as high as you can. Exhale, chin to chest, pushing the floor away from you, separating your shoulder blades. And do a few of this with your own breath, kind of matching. Some people like to go faster, some people like to go slow. The best thing is see if you can do a 4 count with an inhale and an exhale. That's probably the best way to do it, but again, everybody's different, so I'm not gonna say stay what I do. Coming back, one more. Coming back into steady table pose. We're just gonna go ahead and let's take out the right leg. Just stretch up the right leg, plant the right toes, and just kind of move it back and forth, warming up our hamstrings as well as the ankle too by doing that. Inhaling and exhale. And slowly we're gonna lift out the right leg, swing it in between your hands. Again, we're gonna begin by pushing the knee forward and back for right now. Inhaling and exhale again. Just keep warming up both the hip as well as the ankle just to do that. Take a couple more breaths there. Inhale. And exhale. And whenever you're ready, maybe you can stay here, maybe walk your left knee forward and pushing the right knee below that. And we're gonna hold that movement. It's beyond the 90 degrees, kind of pushing it forward, kind of like we were reaching before, trying to reach towards the wall. Take a couple breaths here, inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. One more on your own. And slowly we're gonna push back. This time we're gonna actually stretch the hamstrings by lifting up the right toes. And you can keep your hands here, or if you feel more comfortable, you can keep it here. You can be looking forward, or you can drop your forehead towards the knee. It doesn't have to touch, it's just the intention there. Just warming up the hamstrings, flexing the right toes into what we call dorsiflexion or distension, right? So take a couple breaths there. Inhale and exhale. One more deep inhale, followed by the deep exhale. And slowly relax, bringing the hands, taking your right knee back. And we're gonna do the same thing with the left leg. So I'm gonna go ahead and flip it over so you can see it. Again, then just stretching it up and probably move forward a little bit and just move back and forward. Some motion. And then take a couple breaths and just kind of stretch it back. Take a couple breaths there, inhale and exhale. As you can tell, we're stretching the hamstring as well, but this one is actually more into the ankle, kind of stretching the back of the ankle. Take a couple more breaths there, inhale and exhale. And slowly we're gonna bring the left foot forward. Again, we're gonna be going forward and back first, forward and back. Just kind of warming it up. You want to engage those muscles before you stretch it. And most of it has been engaged. It's a lot easier to stretch. Just take a couple more breaths here. And again, you can keep your right knee where it's at, or maybe walk it forward. I like to walk it forward and just kind of push forward like I'm ready to take up. Try to keep your heel on the floor. If it lips out, just come back again. That just tells you that you need to work on your flexibility of your ankle, but that's okay. Take a couple more breaths there. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. One more deep inhale, follow with a deep exhale. And slowly again, bring your hands back. Maybe walk your right knee back again where you first started. And pushing hard on the right heel, lifting out the right toes. Again, let's engage your hamstrings before we begin the class. Again, pushing hard, that's engaging your hamstring. And you should feel it right here. Don't overdo it again. Just want to go about 85% of your maximum right now. Again, you can look forward, or you can drop your forehead looking at the left knee. Take a couple more breaths there. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. One more deep inhale, followed with a deep exhale. And slowly we're gonna relax, coming back ourselves. We're gonna begin with our first downward dog of the day. So sucking the stomach in, pushing the hips back. And let's go into downward dog again. You can walk your dog, one leg, the other one. Just inhaling and exhaling. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Coming back into steady downward dog. Let's push the hips back and take one breath here, pushing the floor away from you, elevating your shoulders up to your ear. Take one more breath here. Inhale and exhale. So I'm gonna go ahead and rotate so you can see me. Inhale, right leg goes up. Exhale, swing it in between your hands. Again, coming out to the fingertips. Let's take one breath here. Inhale and exhale. Inhale again. This time we're pushing the knee forward. Stretching that ankle again, similar to what we did with the left knee down. Take a couple breaths more here. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. And slowly pushing the right knee back, getting your arms up to the sky. Again, let's take a couple breaths here in the high and crescent pose. Take one more breath here. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. And slowly we're gonna plant your left heel down. Open ourselves for warrior one again. If you have any problems, actually let me rotate here. If you have any problems, you can always open out your feet a little bit more. Again, we're gonna be working on the left ankle, pushing it up and sinking in, and try to get as high as forward we can with the right knee. Take a couple breaths there. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. One more deep inhale, follow with a deep exhale. And slowly pushing ourselves back, sucking the stomach in, and we're gonna get into the pyramid pose. So you can keep your hands here, maybe bring it together. Bringing the hands down, sucking the stomach in to protect your lower back. And plant your hands into the floor. You can stay here. If this is difficult for you, you can bend the knee a little bit, but stay here. Take a couple more breaths here. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. One more deep inhale, follow with a deep exhale. And slowly planting the hands into the floor, taking your right knee back into a plank. Just take one breath here. Inhale and exhale. You can drop the knees, dropping down, and get with a small cobra. Inhale, lift up, look as high as you can. Exhale, relax. Curl the toes. You can either come up in all fours or push yourselves up into a plank, going back into downward dog. Just take a one breath here. Inhale and exhale. Again, I'm gonna rotate so you can see what I'm doing. So again, this time I'm gonna lift out the left leg. No, actually it's the right leg. Right leg goes up. Most of the left leg lift up. Again, lifting up, reaching up again. Just take a couple breaths here. Inhale and exhale. Inhale, exhale. And I really like to push my right heel back again, engaging my right ankle, pushing hard with the left heel. Let's take a couple breaths. Inhale and exhale. We're gonna go ahead and plant the right heel down again. This time is the right heel. Again, if you have any problems, you can always open it up a little bit more. Staying here. Again, bringing the right knee forward, sucking the stomach in, and we go down, pushing ourselves down to pyramid pose. Take a couple breaths there again. If you have any problems, you can always bend the knee a little bit. But if you have to, you can just push it back. Aim the forehead towards the knee. Doesn't necessarily have to touch it, but the intention is there. Let's take a couple more breaths there. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. One more deep inhale, follow with a deep exhale. Planting your hands into the floor. Step forward, your right foot forward. Halfway out when you get there, exhale be into a forward bend. Bend the knees, sit down. Let's push the floor away from you and reach up to the sky. Palms together in Namaskar. Drop your arms. Let's take one breath here. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and reach up to the sky. Exhale into a forward bend. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, take your right foot back and reach up to the sky this time. And we're gonna open ourselves into warrior two again. Warrior two, concentrating a lot in pushing hard on the right heel, pushing hard on the left heel. Chest the arms back, look forward. Let's take a couple breaths there. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. One more deep inhale. Follow with a deep exhale. And slowly we're gonna bend the left elbow, bringing the right hand up, palm facing up, and imagine there's somebody behind you. You're tapping back and you're going forward. Feel the stretching of the upside. Again, make sure your right heel doesn't come up the floor. Really, I want you to engage the ankle, right ankle. Take a couple more breaths there. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. One more deep inhale. Follow with a deep exhale. Slowly we come back into warrior two. Let's reverse our warrior with an inhale. Exhale, swing your hands towards the floor. Let's get ourselves, take it back into a plank. One breath here, inhale. And exhale, do your vinyasa on the floor, dropping down or halfway up if you want to. Coming up into upper dog or high cobra or low cobra, whatever you can. You can either do another push-up or automatically go back into downward dog. It's your choice. Let's take one more breath here. Inhale and exhale again. I'm just gonna rotate real quick so you can see me. So inhale, right leg goes up. Exhale, swing it in between your hands. You're gonna push the floor away from you and reach up to the sky again. Let's take a deep breath. Inhale. As you exhale, you open up into warrior two. Again, warrior two. Yeah, really concentrating, pushing hard on the left heel, pushing hard on the right heel. Let's engage those ankles. Take a couple breaths there. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. One more deep inhale. Follow with a deep exhale. Again, we begin by bending the right elbow, right forearm, reaching out with your left hand, open ourselves, side extension. Again, concentrating on keeping that foot down, really pushing hard with the left heel. Take a couple breaths there. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. One more deep inhale. Follow with a deep exhale. Slowly coming back, pushing ourselves out. Reversal warrior with an inhale. Exhale. Coming back into warrior two. Taking your hands towards the floor. Take your right foot back into a plank. Let's take one breath there. Inhale. Exhale. Do your vinyasa on the floor, whatever that may be. Chaturanga, upper dog, high cobra, low cobra. Let's push back into downward dog. Let's take a deep breath. Inhale and exhale. Inhale, right leg goes up. Exhale, swing it in between your hands. Push the floor away from you and reach up to the sky. This time we're gonna begin by flexing the left knee, tapping it down and reaching it up. Bringing it down, tapping it up, reaching it up, bringing it down, reaching it up. Tap it down. One more. Getting some flexibility on that ankle. And we stay here, open ourselves into warrior two again. This time we're gonna open ourselves with a triangle pose by pushing the right knee back, stretching up, stomach sucked in, and just rotating your upper body. Looking up to the left side, ceiling. And maybe if you're there, can you turn and twist your upper body back? 3 breaths there. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. One more deep inhale. Follow with a deep exhale. And slowly coming back to warrior two. Let's reversal warrior with an inhale. And exhale, coming back. Bringing your right foot back into a plank. Let's take one breath there, inhale. And exhale, Chaturanga, upper dog, high cobra, low cobra. Exhale, breathing, push back ourselves into the downward dog. Let's take one breath there, inhale. And exhale. This time we're gonna lift up. Let me go right, turn around so you can see me. Lifting out the left leg. Swing it in between your hands. Push the floor away from you and reach up to the sky. Take deep breath, inhale. And exhale again, similar to what we did the other. This time we're gonna top the right foot down. Take that a few times. About 5 times. Maybe one more. Here we go, and we open ourselves into warrior two. Again, warrior two, let's push your left knee back. Get yourselves prepared for triangle pose, sucking the stomach in and just rotating your upper body. Reaching up, with your right hand up to the sky, left foot down. I like to open my chest and by looking back. And totally opening the chest again, pushing hard on the right heel. Let's take a couple more breaths there. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. And slowly coming back into warrior two for ourselves. Let's reverse the warrior with an inhale. Exhale, swing your hands towards the floor. Take your left foot back into a plank. Let's take one more breath, inhale. And exhale, do the vinyasa flow, whatever that may be. Chaturanga, upper dog, high cobra, low cobra. Exhale, rejoin yourselves into the downward dog. Let's take deep breath, inhale. And exhale. Right leg goes up. Open either right hip for a moment. Take a breath here, inhale. And exhale. We're gonna swing it outside the right side of the foot. Drop it, you can either keep the left knee up or drop the left knee down, reaching up with the lizard pose, modified lizard pose, or you can keep your left foot up. It's up to you, whatever you prefer. Let's take a couple breaths there, inhale. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale. One more deep inhale. Follow with a deep exhale. And slowly bring the right hand down. Take your left foot back again to a plank. Do your vinyasa flow, whatever that may be. Chaturanga, upper dog, high cobra. And push back into the downward dog. Similar to that, we're gonna lift out the left leg. Swing it outside the left side of the mat again. You can drop the right knee if you want to. Just keep it up and open yourselves into lizard pose. Take a couple breaths there. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. And slowly bring the left hand down, pushing the right foot up. Take a couple more breaths there. Inhale. Exhale, Chaturanga, upper dog, high cobra. Let's push yourselves back into downward dog. One of the things that we gotta do that too, working the stability of the ankle. So that's what we're gonna do with the next pose. So standing in one leg. Inhale, right leg goes up. Exhale, swing it in between your hands. Push the floor away from you. And reach out with the sky. Let's stay here, breath. Get into thunder ball. Sucking the stomach in. Transfer all the way into the right foot. Lifting ourselves into warrior three. Sucking the stomach in, lifting forward. Maybe a micro bend on the right knee. Take a couple breaths there. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Dropping the hands into the floor. Take your left foot back. Push your left knee back. Just a couple breaths more. Inhale. Exhale. Chaturanga. Just pushing back. into downward dog. Let's take one more breath there. Inhale and exhale. Inhale, left leg goes up. Exhale, swing it in between your hands. Push the floor away from you and reach up to the sky. First, turn the ball, transferring all the way to the left leg, sucking the stomach in and push back into warrior three. Get in there, engage in the right leg. Take a couple breaths there. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Hands into the floor. Bring your right foot down. Halfway as you're looking for exhale into a forward bend. One of the best poses also for flexibility of the ankle is malasana. So open out your feet as much as you can, sinking down. Here we're gonna stay for a couple breaths. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. One more deep inhale. Follow with a deep exhale. And slowly coming back, I do want to show a few stretches that you can do at home for more stretching of the deepest, the soleus and the gastrocnemius muscles. So using the wall in your house, I want you to think about it, bending, I don't know if you can see me like this, but bending the left knee, so I'll kind of show it like this. Imagine this is a wall, and you're pushing it down against the wall, holding it for a few seconds. And then you can actually, so you can tell I have it about 45 degrees. You can do it straight as well, holding that, imagine this is the wall. And then you can actually do the inside of it and holding the wall. So about 15 degrees inside. And that's gonna help you with the eversion and inversion of the muscle. So you will stretch all three muscles in the back by doing that as well. And the final stretch that I really wanted to show you is one that's one of my favorite for me, but this is where the blood comes in handy. If you're able to sit down, and I'm gonna do it sideways so you can see it, but you already see me. See, you can do this, maybe put the block there to help you with that. Many people will start here. Literally, I started like right here. I had a lot of injuries with my ankle and I couldn't even get down. So I start here all the time, sit in the block for a few moments just to kind of relax my body. This is actually a pretty good stretch. You're watching TV or something, there's something you can do at home and you stay there. But eventually you wanna remove the block. Once you're there, let me put it this way so it doesn't be in front of the camera. So you can see that, right? You can stay here. Again, if anything hurts, you can either use a higher block or maybe use two blocks. And be careful with the knees. If you have problems with your knees, you also don't want to be doing a lot of this stuff here. But if you can, eventually you got to get there to where your ankles, if you can see that now, my ankles literally are touching the floor, which is before when I first started, it was right here. That's as far as it can do with the flexibility of my ankle. And you can stay here, just breathe down again. If you're able to actually get your butt on the floor, that's one of the things you can do. If you can touch your floor on the floor, you can go one, back, and back. But if your knees start coming up, you gotta bring it down and just come back. Don't go all the way back. So this is something that you can do. Like I said, it gives you a lot of flexibility. It's something you can start with like 20 seconds and maybe 30 seconds and then work it out your way until you can hold it for a while. I can probably hold it for about 20 minutes now, just doing this. And eventually, like I said, for me, it takes a while before my butt actually hits the floor and then I'm able to go back. But those are one of the things that are recommendations that I wanted to give you and just help you with ankle flexibility. So thank you. Hope you enjoy it. Hope you helps you with the flexibility of those ankles that we always tend to forget about.